Our third lesson in the congruent triangles unit deals with triangle inequalities. We are able to determine whether or not a triangle exists, and we're also able to order the sides or the angles from least to greatest or greatest to least. So, how do I use inequalities with triangles? I bet you didn't think you'd be doing greater than or less than in the triangle unit, now did you? All right, so our very first note card will be the triangle inequality theorem, which states that a triangle exists if the sum of the smaller sides is greater than the largest side. So let's see here. Can we make a triangle with side lengths of 8, 17, and 24? So which of those three is the largest? I always circle that, okay, because the side lengths are not always written in order from least to greatest. So the two smaller ones, 8 plus 17, have to be greater than 24. 25 is greater than 24, so yes, we can make a triangle. Can we make a triangle with side lengths of 3, 3, and 7? 7 is the largest side, so 3 plus 3 would have to be greater than 7, and 6 is not greater than 7, so no. If we were actually trying to make a triangle with this, 3, 3, and 7, we would end up with this hole because those two short sides would not be able to meet. You can use the triangle inequality theorem to find a range of possible values for the side lengths. So it has to be less than the sum of the two smaller sides, but greater than the difference. Okay, reminder on the words here. That means we're going to subtract the two sides and we're going to add the two sides. And the third side has to be somewhere in between those. So for example, if two sides of a triangle measure 14 and 22, this should say what is the range of possible lengths. So we're going to add them and we're going to subtract them. Let's add them first. 14 plus 22 is 36. And 22 minus 14 is 8. So the side length has to be between 8 and 36. Now let's say I give you a bunch of numbers. And I ask you to select which of these side lengths could be a third side for this triangle. All right, so 5 is too small. 7 is too small. Is 8 a possibility? No, it's not. This does not equal 8. It has to be greater than 8. So 10 will work. 11, 16, 20, 25, 35. What about 36? Will 36 work? No. I have to be smaller than 36. And these last two values won't work. So there's more than one way to ask this question, is the point I'm trying to get across. I can ask you to actually find the range, which is right here. Or I can give you a set of values and ask you which ones work, which means you have to be able to find the range and understand what range means. When you did this in Algebra 1, you used a number line, right? And these were open dots because there's no equal to on our less than symbols. And then it was a bar that connected them because all the values between 8 and 36 work. Ordering angles in a triangle. So the angles in a triangle can be put in order by comparing the sides. So I want you to put your hands together with the heels of your hands touching and your fingertips apart. Okay, the heels of your hands, that's going to be your angle. You can make the angle smaller or bigger, okay, just by moving your hands. And the tips of your fingers connect in the side of the triangle. So your hands themselves form sides of a triangle, and the fingertips, you have to imagine those connect to form the third side. Make a small angle, and your fingertips connect in a pretty short side. Make a really big angle, and your fingertips connect in a really long side. And that's what we're talking about here. The largest angle will be opposite the longest side, and the smallest angle will be opposite the shortest side. It's pretty logical. So let's take a look. We're going to order from least to greatest, smallest to largest. So looking at our side links here, which one is the smallest? 7 feet. Come straight across to the angle opposite, and angle A is the smallest angle. Next smallest value is 10. Come directly opposite to the angle, and you're looking at angle C. And last, our longest side is 13. Come straight across, and that's angle B. Another way to write this is to say the measure of angle A is less than the measure of angle C, which is less than the measure of angle B. So notation issues here. If we use the less than symbols, we have to use measure of, because less than implies we're talking about a value or a number. If we're just listing the angles in order, we use the angle symbol and commas. Either answer would be correct in this situation. Now let's order the sides, and it works the same way with this exact same hand trick to help us remember it. The sides of a triangle can be put in order by comparing the angles. So the longest side is opposite the largest angle, and the smallest side or shortest side is opposite the smallest angle. So this time I'm going from greatest to least. Okay, they only gave me 2 angle measures. So I need to find the third before I start. $35. Okay, my largest angle is 103. Go directly opposite. I'm talking about side EF. Next up, 42 is the largest. Come directly opposite. That's side DF. And my shortest or smallest angle is 35 degrees. Come directly opposite. That's side DE. Now, if I'm writing that with greater than, less than symbols, I leave off the bars. EF is greater than DF, which is greater than DE. The hardest part of these problems is just reading the directions and make sure you go in the right order. Least to greatest or greatest to least, ascending, descending. So let's practice here. Can you form a triangle with the given sides? So I need to identify the longest side, and I need to add the other 2 and see if they are greater than that longest side. Is 50 greater than 50? No. Okay, identify your longest side and see if the other 2 add up to more than the longest. 42 is greater than 41, so yes. Given the two sides of a triangle, find the range. Range means I'm going to subtract them and I'm going to add them. So 31 minus 28 is 3. And 31 plus 28 is 59. 24 minus 7 is 17. And 24 plus 7 is 31. Order the angles from least to greatest. Okay, so my smallest side, come across, I'm talking about angle M. Next up, 20 is opposite angle P. And my longest side, 24, is opposite angle N. You could also write it, measure angle M, less than measure angle P, less than measure angle N. Make sure I can tell the difference between your angle symbols and your less than symbols. That's why I always do the arcs in my angles. Order the sides from greatest to least. And once again, they left off one of my angles. So let's see, 180 minus 82, 98, minus 54, 44. Okay, I want greatest. That's the 82 come across segment XZ. Next, 54 goes straight across YZ. And my smallest angle is 44 come across XY, or XZ greater than YZ greater than XY. Remember, when you're talking about segment lengths, you do not put the bars above the segments. All right, so at this point, take a minute to write a summary for me on how to order sides and angles and how to determine whether or not you have a triangle based on the side lengths.